Hey guys, welcome back to the Ad Lib Podcast. Today is show number 23 and we're back. Gang is still here, thankfully. And so I can welcome, first and foremost, Franco. How's it going, Franco?
It's good. The show is older than the majority of the participants in Love Island.
Oh, shit, true. True.
No, we're good. I had another good joke, but fuck it anyway. Oh, sorry, 12 minutes in and we're demonetized. Sorry, guys.
No.
Andrea
30 seconds,
already said shit, so cool.
Yeah, it's true.
And I couldn't be bothered bleeping them out, so.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Hi guys, how you all doing? I'm doing good, step by step, as I said. And speaking of Love Island, I do have a take. I'm not a piss take. I mean, that's been done ad nauseam by the experts, by the Facebook experts, you know. But we'll talk about this later. And how are you doing, Joe?
I'm all good, thank you. I've been a bit disconnected from the world of media for the last week or so. Like I haven't even watched Succession or Barry yet, and normally like it's my
No, I
Monday.
haven't either.
I haven't had the chance. Well, I plan
I'll
to
watch it tonight.
later this evening. After I'm done with some more work, I'll use Succession as like my nighttime thing, which I don't know if that's a good idea, but we'll see.
I don't think it will, from what I've heard. It's quite obvious what it's going to be, right? You know what it's going to be, right?
I'm assuming it's the election episode.
It's the election. Apparently,
It's called
tense.
America Decides.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite obvious. So it's
Yeah.
going to be super tense. I don't know if you're going to sleep well after that episode.
Well, we'll see. I can be quite a twisted individual. So
Nice.
And how are
Good,
you,
good,
Andrea?
good.
How is our gracious host?
Not bad. To be honest with you, it's just like you, Joe, I haven't been watching too much this week. It's just like there was some stuff on my list. There was The Mother, but turns out it was really bad, so I didn't watch it. There was Crater on Disney Plus, which again turns out was really bad, so I avoided it. There was the documentary, the docuseries on Cleopatra on Netflix. Turns out it's got 1% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I avoided that as well.
God.
And even the critics, it's not just the racists on online. It's even the critics. It's like 11% critic rating. So like it really is bad.
We're
It's 11%.
so proud of you. We're so proud of you, Andrea. He's
I
learning.
was going to say, this is extreme growth from your part.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It only took 23 episodes for you to
Yes.
realize that life is too short for bad stuff.
Yes, but what happened was, and I'll talk about it when I talk about the stuff I've been watching. So we'll get into that.
But I've also haven't been watching a lot as well. But the most important thing. So what is the Ad Lib Podcast, Andrea? Apart from it being another podcast with three white guys, eh?
Yeah. But we're over that by now. Everyone knows. Yes. So very good question, Franco. As always, very apt question. So the Ad Lib Podcast is all about movies, all about video games, all about series. Today I'm going to be talking about a particular video game which has got my addiction going again, and one of the reasons why I haven't been watching too much. But yes, Ad Lib Podcast, here we talk about movies, we talk about series, we talk about video games. We're going to start off, first of all, like I said, by talking about the stuff we've been watching, the stuff we've been playing, stuff we've been doing in the past week. Then we'll get into the news. We have a lot of trailers, which obviously we won't talk about. We won't talk about all of these trailers, but we'll get into a few of them. We've got some news, usual box office, then some interesting movies here and there, some canned movies we can talk about. Some news about Beetlejuice as well. I don't know if anyone here watched Beetlejuice.
The original one, yeah. Tim Burton with Michael Keaton. A very strange turn by Michael Keaton, but very memorable still.
I think I watched it about 25 years ago, but yes, I have seen it.
We've got that, and then to conclude the news, I found a very, very interesting article, an interview by Collider with The Wire's David Simon, who really explains perfectly kind of the thought process going on behind the Writers Guild strike, and kind of like the experiences of young writers in Hollywood. It's really good, so we'll get into that at the end. After that, then obviously, as always, we've got the reviews. Like we mentioned, there's not a lot to review, so we've got The Covenant, Guy Ritchie's The Covenant to talk about at the end, which is a movie all three of us managed to watch. And also, Franco then will give his take on Love Island Malta.
I actually I was thinking whether I should now make a commitment and do some commentary about it, because it doesn't seem there's going to be much commentary. But well, let's see how it goes. I will write an article about it on Love in Malta, so we'll see how that goes. But again, so we'll speak later on once the reviews come, the review section.
Definitely. So, Franco, your week so far, how has it been? What have you been up to?
As like you said, Andrea, not much. I haven't watched much. I just finished watching The Covenant, which is actually I liked it a lot. I mean, there are some issues which me and Joe will also discuss. Joe and I, sorry for the English, my And I actually finished reading the biography by Anthony Bourdain. That's a great biography.
Nice.
It was called Down and Out. Let me check just a second. So I'm obviously, please, listeners, do forgive us for not coming prepared, because we're very ad hoc here. I mean, it is Ad Lib. So
Right, that's the name.
We wouldn't be the Ad Lib Podcast if we didn't make it up as we went along. So
exactly. So just checking the biography, it was called Down and Out. Down and Out in Paradise: The Life of Anthony Bourdain by Charles Liason. That's it's very interesting. I'm looking forward to read his Kitchen Confidential and Medium Raw.
Kitchen Confidential is really good.
I really like his penmanship. It's the biography. It's a warts and all biography. And now I started reading the Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I'm going down the
wow.
I'm going down the red pill K-hole, guys. No.
That's fine.
No, just good.
It's funny you mention that, because I don't have the patience to sit down and look at a book. It makes me very tired. But I like audiobooks because I tend to travel longer distances for work, and even just when I'm cooking and stuff. But I was actually listening to one today called The Art of Resilience by Ross Edgley. He's a like super marathon swimmer and stuff. But funny enough, he mentioned Marcus Aurelius because he has this outlook on his training. He calls himself a Stoic athlete based on Stoicism and the ancient Greeks, and apparently Marcus Aurelius employed this as well. So it's quite a coincidence to hear you reading Marcus Aurelius.
Actually, if to tell you the truth, because I follow Philosophy Now, the YouTube channel by Abigail Thorne, and she actually did not a review. She was speaking about Stoicism and how it apparently it's having a resurgence in modern life and contemporary life. So I wanted to read that first and then watch the video. Abigail Thorne, always good. And I also have on the list, but please don't take this wrong, 12 Rules of Life by Jordan Peterson. For the only reason, because I also did this with Love Island. You have to know your enemy. That's the only reason. Because even like when I was reading the introduction, I'm like, Jesus Christ, these guys are so full of themselves.
Yes, that's a very good way to describe Jordan Peterson, actually.
And always, and here's another shout out to a great podcast I'm listening to is Behind the Bastards. Behind the Bastards, I forgot the just a second, it's by Robert Evans, I think Robert Evans, and Robert Evans, and he's got great very informative, funny takes on bastards, basically, Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro's, like all the usual suspects, basically. But it also gives you an insight into what goes behind their minds, like especially Andrew Tate. I was listening to an Andrew Tate update and his background, because that's the thing. You see how these people project their insecurities onto the rest of the people. And one of the recent thoughts that I had about Andrew Tate is how he manages to capitalize on his own insecurity by exploiting other men's insecurity.
Yeah. It's
Definitely.
it's kind of genius in a way what he's done.
Like Dr.
Like
Evil genius, though.
Yeah, I don't like to give assholes credit, but the fact that with the whole like Hustler University and like all that shit, the fact that he's managed to make a large chunk of money off that, I kind of have to go like, fuck, fair enough. Like I didn't think of it like you did, kind of thing.
Yeah, if we're going to be cynical about it, like people are making money. If they play their cards right, people are making money off of his material.
Yeah.
And like even Hazanabi gives him credit for the fact that he knows, like he's another Trump basically, because he's good. Unfortunately, he's good content.
Yeah.
And he
Which
knows
will
his
also-
audience.
Yeah,
He
and
knows
I
what
mean,
triggers them. He knows what gets them going. He knows what they want to hear, and he pushes it.
The
He's
really
very effective.
The really funny thing I found with Andrew Tate is that he's obviously very like typical white cis male, is pretty anti-trans, pretty misogynistic as well, and he keeps making these allusions to the Matrix. Is he aware that the Matrix is basically like an analogy for trans people and is made by trans people? Can someone let them know?
no,
I don't
no,
think he does. I don't think he's
I
aware.
don't think it does.
'Cause he
Exactly.
keeps mentioning
Yeah.
like agents and like red pill lifestyle.
But a lot of right wingers, Joe, make references to the Matrix. Have you noticed?
yeah, I know it's
Even
really
the whole
weird.
red pill concept.
Yeah, like how they try to adopt it when like it probably couldn't be
guys.
closer to the right of it, like if it wanted to.
Guys, you're giving these guys a bit of too much. How shall I say? You're giving
We're
these guys.
assuming they're too smart.
They're smart. Yeah, exactly. Because
Listen, they are smart. Don't be. Guys like Ben Shapiro, they are very, very smart. They are very smart.
Yeah, but remember, he's Jew, and he's preaching to the first people that will kill him if they had the chance. You know, it's
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, he's gonna have it. I'm. By the way, disclaimer: I'm not vouching like telling people to do that shit. But I mean, he's in the top of the list. Like he's just. There's not enough much self-awareness with these people. They may be smart, self-awareness, not that much.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to the Ad Lib Podcast, where we also discuss Andrew Tate as well.
Yeah, this guy is very political for the first 12 minutes of a show.
True. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What about you, Joe? What have you been up to?
Not much in terms of watching. As I said, I am listening to a rather good book, The Art of Resilience by Ross Edgley. For those that don't know, he is the first man to swim the length of the English Channel, not across the English Channel. He's the only person in history to swim the entirety of the UK mainland. He also did a marathon pulling a 1.4-ton car. He did a triathlon carrying a tree. He's an insane athlete. And the book is all about how your brain tries to stop you doing something when you're only at like 40% of your max, when you're not actually at the point where you need to be. And that's where you need to build resilience and stoicism. Okay. I just find it really interesting that like human beings are capable of this shit. But yeah, in terms of watching, kind of nothing. I did watch Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, more on that later, I guess. What I do want to know, Andrea, is what you've been doing this week, but most importantly, how was Evil Dead Rise?
So, first of all, I did watch Evil Dead Rise. I had a very, 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 very good time. In the opening, 10 minutes? Was it 10 minutes? I think it was a bit less than 10 minutes, maybe.
It's fantastic.
The title sequence, I paused, and I was like, oh my god, this is so good.
I've seen a lot of stupid opinions where they're like, why did we need the first 10 minutes of the film? We didn't need it. Like, are you kidding? It's cool as fuck. That's why we needed it.
It's so cool, man. It's so cool. Oh, when she rises up from the water, that scene.
Stop hyping up, guys, because I have to watch the remake first and then watch the...
Yes, do watch the remake, Franco. I think
that'll be a really fun 3-hour double bill. Because they're both an hour and a half.
Yep.
Set aside 3 hours. I would just go back to back because they like, it'd be like you see the kind of like beginnings of like what the series is going to become, where it's not so refined, a little bit dumb, and then you get it in the hands of a really good writer director in Lee Cronin.
Lee Cronin.
Yes, Lee Cronin.
Yeah.
Excellent
Lee Cronin,
job.
you're invited for the podcast.
That'd be insane if we got Lee Cronin.
Lee Cronin, friend of the show.
Friend of the show, Lee Cronin.
Lee Cronin, I have Irish friends that basically makes us friends as well.
Well, don't you have any Irish contacts, Joe? Actually,
David, friend of the show, who's been a previous guest before. I think he's got some decent contacts. I might twist his arm and be like, "Okay, I'll put us in touch with someone."
No, but he did a very good job. I did a very good job because it was even because in the first Evil Dead, that was 2013 one. There were some moments where I was like,
yeah, it's a bit dumb.
The dialogue sometimes is a little very cringe at times
and character decisions are a bit stupid.
And character decisions, of course you would. But in this one, it's much more mature. It's a much more mature. And the performances as well. I was surprised. Very good performances as well.
Yeah.
Alyssa Sutherland. Ooh, wow.
Fantastic.
Mother.
She's already a horror icon, I would say.
She is.
So basically, would you say it's a good Mother's Day movie?
Yes.
It definitely.
By the way, a belated Happy Mother's Day to all our mothers as well, and to all
definitely.
the mothers, to all the mothers that watch this show or listen to the show.
Definitely. And you saw that photo I sent you of her and her makeup from Twitter. Oh my God!
So because a lot of the effects in that are practical as well.
Yes,
like you have to go looking for the CGI in that film, which is a really good thing in a bombastic bloody horror film.
Definitely. And it does have those super bloody moments as well, which I loved from the 2013 one. Very gruesome. So
Fede Alvarez.
2013,
okay. Exactly. So very good time. I think right now it ranks as my favorite movie of the year so far. As like I told you, Joe, I do think overall as a movie, as how it was written, I do think Air is the superior movie.
Nah.
But if I just had to say how much fun I had, if I had to make a list now, I would put Evil Dead Rise first and Air second right now. With how much fun I had watching them and you know, just the vibes I got from them. So last watching it.
You know what it will never beat? You know what movie it will never beat?
Oh God.
Write in the comments below what movie it will never beat, guys. I'm in your head now.
I was going to say in relation to Air is fine. It's well written. It's well directed. It's well acted. But I don't think we needed a film to tell us how important this multi-billion-dollar deal that Nike made back in the day with like Michael Jordan and celebrating it like this huge, we did it. We made $1 billion.
You know what, Joe? That
Capitalism
made
W.
it even better for
Capitalism
me.
W.
Because the fact that they could exactly make like Franco was saying, a W movie for capitalism and actually made me emotional about it with a rousing speed and the whole. That's actually very impressive for me personally, because like you guys know by now my what I think about these big corporations and capitalism and whatnot, and the fact that a movie like this could take someone like me, who is super cynical about businesses and whatnot, and you know feel certain emotions, is truly testament to how good I think this movie is.
Well, yeah, as screenwriting, apparently it is good. I mean, even Tetris was quite like Viva America, you know. So,
yes, completely.
Yes. And Viva Nintendo, considering how shitty a company Nintendo is.
But then that's why, like, you guys haven't seen it yet, but I had the privilege of seeing Blackberry at the Glasgow Film Festival a couple of months ago. I think Blackberry is probably, it's up there with my favorite film of the year with Evil Dead Rise. Because it's not a stoic capitalism story. It's more about the pitfalls of capitalism and what can happen because of that, and the greed and the deception and stuff like that, because it shows it for what it is. And it's also really entertaining, and it has the speeches, and it has jokes, and has good performances, so it has all those things. But it's actually about something. I don't feel that like Air and Tetris are actually about anything.
I think Air is more of a... Forget the whole deal. I think it's more like the dynamic between characters in Air. It's like, and the drama that develops. I think that's the whole idea behind Air. Yes, there's the whole Michael Jordan and whatnot, and the deal and everything. But at the end of the day, it's the dynamic between the characters, and just brilliant performances which brought it together. That's why I loved it so
as
much.
I said,
and the
it's
very good writing, very good dialogue.
For me, it's fine. I'm not going to shit on it and be like, it's just an expensive advert. It has merits. It is well directed. It is well acted. There's good chemistry. There's good writing.
Would it fit in your top 10 list, Joe?
At this point, probably, because like I don't even have 10 films.
I don't either.
Like,
do you, Franco?
I haven't seen it yet. I have to watch it.
No. Do you have like a top 10 list right now on your? Would you be able to, or?
Yeah, Fast X, Boys Afraid, which I will be watching Fast X this Friday. So
so next week we're gonna have Boys Afraid and Fast X to review on the show.
Wait, Boys Afraid? No, Boys Afraid.
I'm watching Boys Afraid on Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, you're coming to Malta, right? No,
I'm going to do my
after.
second viewing of Boys Afraid with you guys in Malta.
Okay. But did you already? Oh, it was the trailer reaction, by the way.
I did a trailer reaction on TikTok a while ago.
That's a while ago.
One of our first TikToks. I mean, I need to get back on the TikTok game.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
And
Everyone has.
So I watched Evil Dead Rise. I also watched, like you guys, I watched Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, which I had a very good time watching. I finished the Bridgerton series. Very good. Very emotional ending as well. What's it called? Queen Charlotte. That like mini series separate from the Bridgerton story. Prequel. What else have I been up to? Yes, and my addiction for Call of Duty is back because I don't know if you guys are aware of it. There's this game mode called Warzone 2. Warzone basically, which is like separate to the whole multiplayer game. It's a battle royale basically. And so they released Warzone 1 way back during beginning of COVID in March 2020. Perfect timing. Could have chosen a better time. And I was super addicted for like 2 years to that game. After they released Warzone 2, but it was an absolute disaster. Horrific. They just ruined the game completely. But now they released ranked mode, so I've been playing a lot of that because at least there's a reason to play. At least you gain points for playing, not just playing just for fun. So that's kind of made me addicted again, back to the game. So yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much my week. So viewers, listeners, let us know in the comment section below. What have you been up to the past week? Any shows, any movies you've watched recently that you think we should watch, we have not mentioned? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, Franco, what else should our viewers do?
Subscribe, like, comment, and follow us on Spotify, on Instagram, on our not so updated TikTok. And where else? Where should they? Yes, follow us on Facebook as well. And do leave comments, guys. Please do leave comments, and we appreciate your messages as well.
Recently, we had a comment. I don't know if you saw the comment by a viewer about this is open inverted commas, woke Little Mermaid.
Oh,
it's going to be a disaster.
I mean, I saw a recent another reviewer on YouTube. I think from the Perry Show. She said like she had issues with the VFX and the script. Otherwise, like I think it's like Joe said last time. If you're looking forward for it, you like it. If you're not, I mean, go watch Fast X or Boys Afraid. You know, there's
or literally anything else.
Exactly.
Little Mermaid comes out on the 26th. Fast X comes out on Friday, Franco.
Yes, at the Embassy Cinemas.
So you can watch it on the 19th. So I don't have to watch it. Oh, thank God.
Listen, I'm going in blind because I haven't seen a single.
Oh my God. I watched the first 3, to be fair. I watched the first 3.
I'm like I'm peripherally aware that it's a franchise, but I'm not good.
And it's all about family.
I've watched the first 3 and Hobbs and Shaw, which is one of the worst experiences of my life.
Why did you go watch Hobbs? Oh, I didn't
go to watch it. A friend of mine put it on at their house.
Yeah.
I did feel like driving home, and I just sat there and I'm like, okay, maybe it'll be so bad it's good, and it was just really bad.
Just bad. So we'll get Franco's review for that next week. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that I don't have to go watch it. I was not looking forward to that. But let's get into the news, guys. Bunch of trailers. I'm just gonna bring up all those trailers, and the one that definitely I think you guys will want to talk about was the teaser trailer for Poor Things with Willem Dafoe and Mark Ruffalo in Yorgos Lanthimos' next film. We had a trailer for Mending the Line, where we see Brian Cox in a very, very different role to the one me and Joe have been seeing him in recently. This is another interesting trailer. Surrounded looks really good. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Lots of love for Sarah Snook in her Run Rabbit Run. Looks like a horror thriller movie, a horror thriller.
I thought this movie is about Eddie Fenekadami. Sorry.
Franco.
That's a really, really old joke. We're keeping with the political theme today.
Yeah, true. And I don't know, guys. I don't know what to say about this trailer for Padre with Shia LaBeouf.
Look. Listen. Okay, I'm gonna be the, so excuse the pun, the devil's advocate here. But remember, guys, we've been wrong about Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
What else? There was a Guardians of the Galaxy as well. We were like,
no, I was very positive with regard to Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Then again,
I was very excited for
in
it.
Good hands. So you'll never know. I mean, listen, Shia LaBeouf, with everything that's got behind him, and I think he's cleaned up his image a bit. Especially, I think I still have to listen to the podcast with John Bernthal and Abel Ferrara. I think they might do something.
He's a great actor. Let's put it that way. So forget all the drama and whatnot. He's a great actor. I think he's a very, very good actor.
Yeah, he's very committed to everything he does.
When he's committed to it, exactly.
And even what's Abel Ferrara, guys? Abel Ferrara is not. I think he's not a bad director per se.
Well-known director.
His latest output is lacking. I mean,
what's he been up to recently?
I think he did. He's working a lot with Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, he did
Zeros and Ones.
He did a recent film with Willem Dafoe. It was at Berlin, I think, last year or the year before.
It wasn't well received.
3.3 out of 10.
Exactly.
Movie with Ethan Hawke, Zeros and Ones.
Exactly.
Boy.
So
yeah, it's bad. Sport and Life. Yeah.
The last thing I saw was with when he did Port of Call. What's it called? Bad Lieutenant. With Nicolas Cage, which was quite great. I remember liking it. I have to see it again, see if it stands the test of time.
Did you guys watch? You didn't watch Siberia, right? With Willem Dafoe.
No.
Looks awful. Oh my god, looks really bad.
Yeah, so he's a director. He's been around and he makes films, and I don't know, like this one just looks fucking weird. Like
this looks really weird.
My main takeaway from it is, why is everyone except for Shia LaBeouf clearly Italian or doing an Italian accent, and he is full on just doing an American accent. Which, like, I can forgive it if no one does the accent, but why is everyone except the main character committing to an accent? It just looks weird. It looks like this strangely dark, like, period piece centered around the saint that we know. Like, I don't know. I just.
Another thing is it looks like made for TV as well. It's kind of
look made for TV. Looks quite cheap.
Yeah.
And what else? Well, I think Abel Ferrara's heyday was in the 80s. He's got quite his movies had quite the shock factor as well. So there's that.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, we never know. Sometimes we are positively surprised, but it does look
true. It does look cheap. Yeah. So that's Padre Pio. I mean,
it's got a good line. It's got a good line though. It's like, why can't we be angry at God? It's a good line, I guess. It's like,
yeah. Listen, if they can do a good, I mean, there is an interesting story behind Padre Pio. So if they can dramatize it a little bit and Shia LaBeouf commits to the role, I think there's potential. But especially looking at his most recent movies, doesn't really Make me
bode
feel
well.
positive about it.
I feel
we'll see,
like
we'll see.
this kind of subject matter, like, I mean, he's one of the greatest directors I've ever lived, but I feel like this would be like a great one for like Scorsese to take on, because he likes doing stuff in a religious context as well. So you
Yes,
had The Last Temptation of
100%.
Christ, you had Silence.
Yes.
He's obviously a
Silence.
deeply
Oh,
religious man
Silence.
himself. This would have been a really good one for Scorsese to take on, and I would have backed Shia LaBeouf in it as well.
Guys, just one thing, please. Tell me you love Silence.
I haven't
I
seen
do.
it yet.
I when I first watched Silence, I thought it was like this huge
Don't tell me it's too
bona
slow.
fide masterpiece. No, I still really like it. I still, because to be fair, there isn't a Scorsese film that like I don't really like. I think
Yes.
every single one
True.
of his films is
No,
like,
it's true. It's
fuck,
true.
that's a really good movie. Like whatever
No,
he's
it's true.
even like his
From
like
the very beginning, every
his-
movie I've watched of his.
even like a movie which is like more poor than others, like Hugo or something. You still it's still
Hugo's
better.
still almost
It's still better than 6 out of 10 films that come out. You know,
100%.
the guy
100%.
is just he is meant to make films. So
Mhm.
Silence, it is definitely slow, but I still really like it.
I love Silence.
I haven't-
I love it so much.
I haven't seen Silence for the simple reason
Watch
that
it,
I
Franco.
wanted. I
Watch
wanted
it.
to
It's
distance
so good.
myself from the negative, because some people did really like shit on it as well. So, but I
Watch it, Franco. I
love
love it so much. You love it. Anyway, so that's Padre Pio. This trailer for Tom Holland series. You guys had thoughts about this? The Crowded Room, Apple TV series.
Look, let's don't watch the trailer. That's all I'm gonna say, because I feel like it gives away.
ruins the whole story. True.
I feel
True.
it's giving it away, and I'm not gonna say it for the sake of the viewers. I mean, if watch it at your own risk, watch the trailer at your own risk. I mean, there's Tom Holland, which seems like it's quite a it's quite a good turn from him, especially like it doesn't look like a Spider-Man, for sure. And there's Amanda Seyfried,
Or Nathan Drake.
Oh yes, and Amanda Seyfried, she's finally finding her footing, because
Yes.
even in Mank, despite its shortcomings, I think she was
very,
quite
very good in Mank. Yes, very good. Yeah, this is an interesting one. I mean, pretty much it's the cast which pulls me to it. Basically, it's the cast. I think Tom Holland is a talented actor. He just needs to get out of his typecast role, kind of, that he's been put in because of obviously because of the big success of Spider-Man. basically. And this is the perfect role for him, basically.
He was in others like Cherry and what's The Devil You Know, I think it was called, with
The Devil All the Time.
The Devil,
Devil All the Time. He was very good in that, Devil All the Time as well.
Yeah, but
That was another different. The movie had its issues. Yes, I will agree. It had its big issues. But as a movie, I did quite like it. So I think I give it like a 3 out of 10 or 3 out of 10, I think.
Yeah, 3 out of 10.
Oh, sorry. No. 3 out of 5. Sorry, 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5.
Wow.
So here's where I'm going to be controversial. I don't like Tom Holland at all. I think
Okay.
he's passable as Spider-Man. I think his American accent is fucking terrible, and I just don't believe him as an actor in anything I've really seen him in. And this story, this series is going to be based on an actual person. There was this Billy Milligan in the 70s who committed a lot of crimes, and I won't spoil that if you want to go and look up who Billy Milligan was. But if you had the right kind of like younger actor in this, it could be a really, really good role to kind of like sink your teeth into. Now, totally open to being proven wrong and pleasantly surprised. But for what this kind of role is going to demand of an actor, I don't think he has it in him at all. That's just me.
We'll see. We'll see.
This is a true crime series. It's
Yes.
another true. We don't have those.
No, we don't have enough. So yeah, that is the Apple TV series, The Crowded Room. With regard to the other movies, guys, I don't know if you saw the trailer for Run Rabbit Run.
Yeah, looks.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not too excited for it. Number one, it's a Netflix
Letterboxd
movie,
are
so
not loving it. People who have seen it so far.
Oh,
So.
okay.
I mean, lots of love for Sarah Snook.
Yes, love Sarah Snook. I was going to say, we should actually make a bet, Franco, of when he's going to watch The Empty Man. Like, what what episode do you think we'll get to and he'll have watched The Empty Man by then? I'm going to say, I'm going to go out on a whim here. If we make it to 80 episodes, he still hasn't watched The Empty Man.
Yeah. Even 100. I think I say by the 100th episode.
You're going for 100?
Yes.
Okay, I'll bet you €20.
20 euro, all right. 20 euro that by the 100th episode, he still hasn't watched The Empty Man.
Yeah.
How much, if you want to bet, guys, leave us a comment.
Yeah. I bet 80, Franco's bet at 100. Let's see.
Let's see. In any case. But yes, speaking about the trailer, it seems like a run-of-the-mill horror as well.
Yeah. It seems like cheaply made Netflix horror.
Surrounded looks interesting. If we want to just keep like,
I haven't watched the trailer for that.
Surrounded looks quite interesting. A committed performance by oh my God, the Billy Elliot star, Jamie Bell, and there's also Letitia Wright. There's also, funny enough, the guy who plays the conspiracy theorist in Stranger Things.
Oh, conspiracy theorist in Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. He was in Fleabag. He's amazing. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, he's her husband. What's her name? Her sister's husband.
Let's find out again, guys.
Yeah. He was in Love as well.
Oh, he was such an asshole. Jesus, I just wanted to punch him every time I saw him on Fleabag.
Brett Gelman.
That's it.
Brett Gelman, and
this is an interesting one, guys. I don't know what your opinion is about this. I don't know if you watched it or
which one?
The Surrounded.
No, I watched the trailer.
I haven't seen it yet.
I mean, looks promising. Again, jury's still out. We have to watch the movie and see what we think.
Yes. There's some nice scenes. There was the bit of dialogue where I did cringe a little bit. There was a moment, but apart from that, most of it looks quite interesting, and it looks good. I'm quite interested in this Surrounded. This looks like an interesting kind of like family drama, very chill movie, very relatable. I like this. Kind of a more relatable Logan Roy. In another world, we will get Logan Roy loving his kids. So, anyways, so that's ending the line. The last one, I know you guys, you definitely wanted to talk about this one, I'm sure, is the teaser trailer for Poor Things. And
yes,
just tell me about those visuals.
The visuals, I mean, see, again, I'm sorry, I have this. Please don't kidnap me again, Wes Anderson. But you see the trajectory that Yorgos Lanthimos went from Dogtooth, which was very understated but still powerful, to what was The Lobster, the favorite.
The Lobster, yeah.
He seems to have found a muse with Emma Stone.
Yeah, and obviously the favorite, because we didn't mention the favorite.
Yeah, the favorite. No, the favorite, exactly.
Which 2018, I think, if not my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies of that year.
Like even the zooms are not, the zooms and the visuals. That's like, would if you didn't know it was a Yorgos Lanthimos movie, would you actually think this is a Yorgos Lanthimos movie?
I would. The main giveaway are those pans with the ultra wide angle on it.
Exactly. Guys, I haven't seen yet, I have to admit, Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Oh, that's really good. I think that's my favorite Lanthimos film, which is
really
it's an odd favorite to have. I think I might like that one the most.
I really love the favorite. Like the favorite,
I love the favorite as well. The favorite's probably second for me. But
even the lobster was good, guys.
So much in the favorite. I think one of the funniest movies I've watched in the past few years.
Great center performances as well by Emma Stone, Rachel Weisz, and the lovely, oh my God,
the Queen,
Olivia Colman.
Guys, we are old.
Andrea, if you loved The Favorite, you need to watch the TV series The Great, because it's the same writer, and it's basically it's It's like a TV show, but
I know.
it's really good. Really
you're
good.
like the 6th person to recommend The Greats to me. Every
It's
time I
fantastic.
start talking about The Favorite, they're like, well, you haven't watched The Greats.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, I know, and I really like Nicholas Hoult as well. Who else stars in it with Nicholas Hoult?
Elle Fanning, and she's
Elle Fanning,
fantastic.
Oh, she's very good as well.
No, the whole show is
Film.
brilliant. Like, I love that show.
It's like it's a show made for me. I need to start watching it. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's one of
It's
those.
period pieces. There are costumes.
Yeah.
You like those?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
so
love
if you like
costumes.
if you like Bridgerton, you must like.
I mean, that's over
really
now,
good.
so I'll get onto it now. Yes, I
Yeah.
will actually get onto it now.
But this looks very promising, and it's
Yes,
funny because
yes,
I
super
thought
excited.
we remember when we read the synopsis for this movie, it was super dark, but
Yeah.
it seems like it's going to go the
I don't know. I still think there's going to be something dark in this.
Oh,
for
100%.
sure.
I mean, even
for sure.
just looking at this, you know it's going to be something very dark.
Andrea, do you know what this makes me want when I see these
Uh-huh.
kinds of visuals and the kind of world it's in? But hot
Mhm.
take, if they ever make a Bioshock movie, give it to
Oh,
Yorgos Lanthimos.
shit. True.
That's my hot take. I'll be here all week.
These
Like that. Like,
shots.
look at it. Like,
Those shots are... where was it? This is the Bioshock...
or
what's
Dishonored
it called?
as well. Bioshock
The Bioshock
Infinite.
game, which is in the...
Yeah.
Infinite. This is
The third
Bioshock
one.
Infinite.
Is
and
it- is
this is the classic Bioshock.
Yeah.
Is it based in Portugal? In Portugal, I think it's based in Portugal.
The film? No
yeah,
idea.
because I saw. Wait, in the trailer there was I saw something on like the name of a galleria.
Based on the 1992 novel of the same name by Alasdair Gray. Poor things will follow Bella Baxter's journey of discovering how and why she was revived, considering that she was absolutely sure that she had died. However, she won't follow the orders of the unorthodox scientist who brought her back to life. That's Willem Dafoe, as she wishes to live as many experiences as she can far away from the man's experiments. In the process, she meets Duncan Weatherburn, and the pair decide to run away together. This would eventually lead Bella into a quest for equality, giving her the possibility of changing the landscape for women's rights in her time. Oh, so this is probably her being brought back to life. That shot. This is probably her brought back to life.
If you go when there was that white shot,
The white shot, which was...
not this one. No, further before.
Before.
Jared Carmichael. That's really interesting to
Rami
see.
Youssef, I'm really glad to see him finally in a film.
Yeah,
Guys, you should watch Rami if you can.
further
Especially
back,
Andrea, who loved Mo. You should watch Rami.
Yes.
further back. Come on! I think before Yorgos Lanthimos appeared. Yeah,
This one?
there's.
Oh, here.
There.
Galeria Vasco, something Vasco. So yeah, something Portuguese. From
João Vasco. No, Grau
Grau Vasco.
Grau Vasco.
Galeria Grau Vasco.
Also,
This shot just looks so beautiful. It's
so Bioshock.
stunning.
Yeah.
So Bioshock. True.
Also, what do you think of Mark Ruffalo's? Oh,
What I really like about this is that Mark Ruffalo finally has decided to be an actor again instead of just being the Hulk.
He did
Like-
have a very good movie recently.
Mela, Spotlight and what's the
Guys, Spotlight was nearly 10 years ago.
and there was
Jesus.
also, there was another one about the water. What's it called?
The one about the water,
Dark,
yes.
Dark Waters, which was
Dark
that,
Waters.
That was seriously
Waters.
okay, and no one watched it. No one gave a shit about it.
That was decent. So yeah, it was okay. Joe.
It was
as in
fine,
was.
but no
was
one
good.
watched it. But like, I just feel like for the longest
Well,
time,
it's not his fault.
He was-
Miskin.
I mean, it kind of is because you're the one deciding where you want to work.
He produced it, but I think he felt very passionate about the story.
Hey, to-
He produced it as well.
I'm not talking about that being a problem. Like Dark Waters is fine. I'm talking about like he was this actor. Like when he did like Spotlight and stuff, it looked like he was like, okay, now he's gonna make that jump to like prestige actor because he's really, really talented. Mark Ruffalo, I really like him.
He is.
And
he is.
he just went, you know what? No, I'm just gonna make a couple million here and there,
But
cameoing in Marvel movies for the next 10 years.
a lot of
No,
his time is
I'm,
taken up by Marvel movies, exactly. And
Yeah.
the big
I'm-
issue is the whole question with Hulk, in that they cannot make a Hulk movie.
Yeah.
So
and
I don't know why he
and-
still stays there.
Why can't
And
they
you
make a
need-
Hulk movie? Now they own the rights to it.
No. They still can't make a Hulk movie, apparently. He can be a side character, but I read that apparently they still cannot make a
Listen,
movie about
isn't-
the Hulk.
Isn't Hulk Fox? Because they own Fox now.
I don't know, but apparently they can't. Another reason why I think they really nerfed him in the many Avengers movies. Franco, you were going to say?
No, I mean, he needs money to invest in his activism as well. So,
Yes. He's very, 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 very political guy talking about politics. Good for him, to be fair, on that element. All right, guys. Moving on. Really quickly, box office. Guys, I'm sure you're very interested in the book club.
The headline, sorry. Whoever did the headline, well done, Anthony D'Alessandro.
Well done to Anthony D'Alessandro from Deadline.
To the listeners, this is the headline: Guardians gang steals book club ladies' pairs over Mother's Day weekend. Best second weekend hold for MCU post-COVID. Sunday box office update.
There was like a 49.5% drop for Guardians 3, so that's a very good drop. Generally, it's like a 60% drop. So that's a very good sign for... and apparently, they've already... So this way, they've made like over 500 million, which is more than what Ant-Man made
so far.
So far in 10 days. So that's a very, very, very good stuff for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, box office-wise. Origin of the Species, guys. I don't know if you've heard of this. Ana de Armas. I have a really hot take about Ana de Armas. She's a terrible actress.
I wholeheartedly disagree.
She's a terrible actress.
She's not.
Have you watched Ghosted, Joe?
No.
I mean...
everything about that film is bad. Okay, you like... I know that like there's the whole thing across all of art, like, oh, a good guitar player can play the guitar well on anything, but sometimes the material you're given is so bad you can't do anything with it. And
what was she good in? She was good.
She was great in the first
Blonde.
Knives Out. She was really good in her small part in
James
Bond film. Yeah,
yes,
really
she
good.
was very good in James Bond. But in James
Blade
Bond, it was
Runner,
such a specific role.
really good in Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, she was
really
good in Blade Runner. Yes.
Andrea, that's a shit take, not a hot
The
take.
stuff I've been seeing of her recently, though, has
She's
been
taken
horrible.
some paychecks. Yeah, she's taken some paychecks.
Yeah, I mean, we cannot. Sometimes I think this is a problem of all reviewers. It's like she has to take some risk. Like the Marilyn Monroe was a
but
huge
Ghosted was not a
risk.
risk.
Yeah, like we just said, it's a paycheck. Oh, even Chris Evans. Chris Evans is a
Exactly.
ghosted
What the
material.
hell is Chris Evans doing?
All right, she was terrible in The Grey Man.
But that's another shit film. By two
I
shit
didn't watch
directors who need to stop
Deepwater.
directing stuff. Deepwater, actually, for everything about it, that film is fucking bizarre, but it's typical Adrian Lyne.
You watched it, Joe?
Yes. It's
shit.
it's a really difficult film to watch because it's so long and it's kind of boring in parts. But her role is actually one of the best parts about that film, and she's really good at it.
No, I haven't watched Deepwater, so I can't tell you.
She was also a great Bond girl. I mean, for a Bond woman, so to speak. But I mean, because there wasn't any romantic.
Exactly. Yeah, she was she was like a highlight in that Bond film.
Yeah, she has the riz. She has the riz.
And also, can we talk about the fact that the first film she was in, like in Hollywood, was War Dogs, which was
War
like
Dogs.
what 7 years ago, I want to say. And before then, she couldn't speak a word of English. She allegedly lied to get onto that like film, saying she could speak English, and picked it up as she went along.
So, moral of the story for any aspiring actor: lie your way to an audition.
I heard the whole thing.
Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it.
And wait, you have to see her martini advert as well.
Yeah,
Martini advert.
Very, very well done ad.
Oh my god! And speaking of well-made ads, Paolo Sorrentino and Clive Owen, match made in heaven for the martini adverts.
So I'm actually with Ana de Armas. I'm actually quite excited to see. She's got the John Wick spin-off, Ballerina, which is going to be like her franchise, which sounds incredible.
Yes. I mean, again, she was great in the James Bond movie in that small, but that was a very small specific role made for her.
But she's got the chops for a John Wick movie. So there.
She was so bad in Ghosted, though.
Yes, but no one watched
even
Ghosted.
Chris Evans was terrible
exactly.
in
No
that,
one
so.
wants to watch Ghosted.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Anyway, but this
anyways,
seems promising.
So,
This seems
Ron
promising.
Howard. I like Ron Howard. Did you guys
don't.
watch 13 Lives?
Not yet, but they
Very
do.
good.
They did.
Very good movie. Very good movie.
Here's my hot take about Ron Howard. Are you guys ready?
Oh, no.
Are you guys ready? And you can go back and you can actually, I want you to go to Rotten Tomatoes now, and every film you see listed, which is non-fiction, he does fine. He's fine at adapting a real-life story. Anything where he has to use an ounce of actual imagination, he can't fucking do to save his life. He is not good at narrative fiction in film. He just isn't. And he's done some really good films over the years. Didn't he do Rush? That film actually made me care about like F1.
Rush, yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
Rush.
He did like Cinderella Man as well. He's done some really good films. He's obviously a talented
Cinderella Man.
director.
Oh, I
But
love
for some
Cinderella Man
reason-
so much.
He can't handle fiction.
And speaking of which, wasn't A Beautiful Mind his as well?
Yes. Not a beautiful.
Oh.
Was it a beautiful mind?
Yes, I think he did A
He had-
Beautiful Mind as well.
He had a thing for Russell Crowe for the longest time.
He did Apollo
Cin-
13.
Yes, Apollo 13,
That's-
another really good film based on a true story.
Very good
That's
movie.
very good. Yeah.
Yeah, Beautiful Mind.
Oh.
Was Ron Howard. Yeah.
He made Solo.
There you go, guys. There you go.
No, Solo was not awful. I prefer Solo to all the sequels.
Okay, that's just get the fuck out of here with that.
I
kind of
prefer
talk.
Solo to all the sequels. And I was
That's-
one of...
That's
And
just crazy to me.
Solo-
You don't know what you're saying. You need to take a chill pill and relax. Just-
is the only Star Wars movie that came out when I was born, which I did not watch in the cinema. And when I watched it, I was like, I wish I watched this instead of all the other sequels.
Solo sucks.
It did not suck.
Solo sucks.
Very underrated movie.
You are the person that has a problem with grizzled Luke Skywalker, but you don't hate dumb fuck Han Solo in the Solo movie.
Yes, but
your
he's still
Star
young.
Wars takes are all over the place, my friend.
He's still young in Solo. You can see him developing.
No, I don't
Yes, they make him
see.
look
I
like
don't
an
see
idiot,
Alden.
but-
I don't see Alden Ehrenreich's Han Solo becoming Harrison Ford's Han Solo. Like in no way, shape,
You
or form.
can't assume.
I can see with the things that happened to Luke Skywalker, I can see him becoming a recluse and not wanting anything to do with the Jedi Order because bad things happen to him, and that's what trauma does. I don't see the progression, and Solo is so clearly a film made off the fucking carcass of a Phil Lord and Chris Miller movie.
Yes, no,
just-
that's true. There should be a much better movie here. But
Howard did his best, but again, name fiction films which he has under his belt, which are good films.
I mean, 3/4 of his movies aren't fiction
Yes,
movies,
he
so it's hard to...
always
It's
tackles
just-
non-fiction.
That's his. That's his.
No,
It's good.
wait,
Yes, it's his thing, and that's fine.
his
And he's
thing.
good. He's good at his thing.
Cocoon was quite good. Cocoon and Backdraft. I
No.
mean, Cocoon has I was still a child. He did Willow. Duh.
I rest my case.
Watch
the
13
movie.
Lives, guys. Watch 13 Lives, though. Yeah.
No.
He made the movie of Willow. Well, the movie,
Yeah,
Willow
yeah, the one
movie is
back in
actually
the day.
quite decent.
Yeah,
The
the
Willow
movie
movie
is
is quite decent.
Yeah,
I like the
but
movie.
it's like 80s, like trashy, schlocky shit.
Yes,
you know?
yes, but it's fun for what it is and for the 80s.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good if you're set.
Yes, basically. But do watch 13 Lives, guys. It's actually a very, very good movie.
13
I
Lives,
know
yeah, it is. They do say it's good.
it's very good. It's very good. It's actually the first movie I watched in my house with my parents.
He did lots of documentaries apparently as well.
Yes, he has.
Yes.
A fantastic Beatles one. As
Yeah.
a big Beatles fan, he has a fantastic Beatles documentary.
Yeah, the
So
Beatles
going through his
documentary.
stuff. He has a lot of good stuff. I mean,
But he's right.
Yes, but
he's right.
99% non-fiction.
Yeah, he's right.
Lots of non-fiction. This
He's
is
right about the
fiction or
non-fiction.
non-fiction?
Which one?
So, Ron Howard's
this is
upcoming
fiction
survival
for
thriller,
sure.
Origin of the Species, has just made a vital step in its evolution process. Ana de Armas, Jude Law, Alicia Vikander. I like Alicia Vikander. Daniel Brühl. Set to begin filming in Australia at the end of the year. Origin of the Species will be hitting the Cannes market soon and has Howard's
A true story.
Imagine entertainment behind it.
Is
The
it
film
a
is
true
based
story?
on two different accounts of the same incident, a true story taking
Ah,
place
okay, it's
on the
probably
rocky
good
and
then.
unique landscape of the Galapagos. According to Deadline, the film is described as a darkly comic tale of murder and survival set around a group of eclectic characters who abandon civilization for the Galapagos. They're all searching for the answer to the ever-pressing question that plagues us all. What's the meaning of life? Interesting.
Yeah, if it's based on a true story, he'll probably do a good job.
So,
Interesting.
Sorry,
Good cast as well.
Interesting.
sorry, you have to laugh. I was
The guy who wrote Tetris, Franco.
Okay, so which seems like like a
He was a
promising
producer
cast
as well. He was a producer on Tetris as well. He was an executive producer.
Yeah.
So that's probably where the link came. So yeah, I'm quite interested in this.
By the way, I was trying to scroll down on the page that you are scrolling down.
Oh
right
no. Next up, Diablo.
What?
Scott Adkins and Marcus Aurora reunite for action pick Diablo. By the way, guys, I haven't watched John Wick 4 yet, Madonna.
Oh, what the fuck are you doing with your
I
time?
haven't watched it yet.
Let's go together,
What are you
man.
doing?
Oh,
I
it's
haven't.
3 hours, man. It's 3 hours at the cinema.
It is such a good 3 hours.
Oh.
What do you complain about? You guys get intermission.
Yeah, no, that's not the problem. No, it's not the 3 hours. That I love watching 3-hour movies. It's the time, because going to the cinema means an hour before, an hour after getting home.
It's
That's 5 hours of my day, and I'm a very busy guy. I have a lot of COD to grind on.
Yeah, but like you can play COD anytime.
No, that's
Exactly.
true.
John Wick 4, you have to see in a cinema.
I know,
Exactly.
I know,
And
I
you
know.
and you only pay 15 euros, not 70 euros for a AAA game.
That's like a year annual. That's an annual fee, and I
Anyway,
I've accepted.
that's another arc for
Yeah.
our leader Andrea.
So Scott Adkins, Marcus Aurora reunite for action pick Diablo, heading to the Cannes market. Another one.
All right.
Best known for the martial arts work in lots of movies, or just John Wick Chapter 4. But of course, there's that. From director Ernesto Diaz Espinosa. I do not know this guy. Guys, ever heard of him?
Neither do I.
No
Ernesto
idea.
Diaz Espinosa.
The
Let's
Fist
look him
of the
up.
Condor and Redeemer.
Ernesto Diaz Espinosa. What has he got? The Fist of the Condor.
No idea.
And
Redeemer.
lots of...
Okay, it seems like he's made these like kind of like martial arts movies, which like
yeah,
that's probably a pretty good thing actually.
But that's 67 ratings.
I think they have a good idea of action. I think once
Yes.
they're given the budget, they're really good. I
Yes,
mean, Scott Adkins is a bona fide.
Yeah, he's one of the greats. He's one of the
one of the greats.
best
Yeah.
that has ever lived in
And
terms
he-
of martial arts.
And he also has a movie in Malta, Accident Man 2. Lest we forget.
Okay.
Yeah, Accident Man 2. The I think the Accident Man's Holiday, something called, but it was filmed in Malta. So there's that. Also friend of friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Eric Linden.
Yeah, friend of the show.
Friend of show.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very Maltese, friends of friends, those guys.
Friends of friends. Echo. Finally, from the Cannes market, Samuel L. Jackson stars disgraced White House chef in death row drama Last Meals with Boyd Holbrook. Oh God, when I see Samuel L. Jackson, I see Captain Marvel next to his name. It triggers the hell out of me. Jesus Christ, man. Captain Marvel from fucking hundreds of movies he's made.
yeah,
I know, fair enough, Django Unchained, although it's quite a small role in that, but Captain
I
Marvel,
say like
Jill
at least
Madonna.
mention Pulp Fiction, like the
Oh,
one he's
Jill
arguably the best
Madonna,
known
man.
for.
I mean, you've got to hit those SEOs, guys.
Yeah.
I guess.
So, Jackson will play Walter, a disgraced White House chef who finds himself many years later working in a maximum security prison cooking last meals for inmates on death row. Holbrook will play Reed, the inmate who embarks on a hunger strike on Walter's watch. The two men form an unlikely bond, which gives Walter a look into the soul of a man who is willing to forego his last pleasurable experience in order to protest his innocence. This is a package whose script garnered good feedback in the last couple of years, but was initially impacted by the pandemic, and it has now been refashioned. Will be helmed by New Yorker Andrew Levitas, whose films include Minamata, starring Johnny Depp, and Lullaby with Garrett Hedlund and Amy Adams. So that's an interesting director and a very interesting cast, to be honest. Very interesting
Yeah.
cast. He was on Narcos.
And
he was
Logan.
the police.
Yeah, it wasn't Logan. Yeah.
So that is Last Meals. Interesting movie.
Alright.
Now, I haven't watched Beetlejuice, guys. I don't know if you have thoughts about this. Have you seen the whole cast? There's Jenna Ortega, Justin
Yeah, the
Theroux,
cast,
Monica
the cast
Bellucci.
is insane. like legitimately insane.
It's true.
What is it
Go on.
about, guys? If I had to ask you, Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. Oh,
I haven't
but
watched it.
it's about this really if you say Beetlejuice 3 times in front of a mirror, it's like
Yeah, like
basically-
he returns from the dead. Again, I must have watched it when I was about 5 years old or something, so I can't really say.
yeah, but it's Keaton will return. Yeah, bioexorcist.
Look at this, guys. Willem Dafoe, the Spider-Man star. Fuck's sake, man. Fuck's...
Yeah.
Oh.
you have to hit the SEOs. That's what I'm gonna say.
And next up, we're gonna see Alech. Oh man, I can't stand this. Fucking hell, man. Jesus. Anyways, so this is an amazing cast. Is it worth watching the original Beetlejuice, guys?
Yo, it's very
I'd say so,
fun.
yes. It's got a big cult following as well.
Even for Michael Keaton's turn as Beetlejuice,
Yes.
you wouldn't realize that it's Michael Keaton.
Ah,
And,
Interesting.
To see how eclectic that actor is. He was Batman, he was Beetlejuice, he was even like in Birdman as well.
okay. All right.
It's nice seeing him again. Speaking of Spotlight as well, he was really good in Spotlight as well.
Yes, he's very good in Spotlight. Did he get a nomination for Best Actor in Spotlight?
I forgot.
I think he might
But-
have, yeah.
I hope he did. I forgot, but I hope he did because he was very good in that.
Oh, sure.
So would you go watch this in the cinemas, guys? Though, I would imagine this is coming out in the cinemas with that cast.
Yeah, probably. I would. I'll watch the first one again. I'll go watch it. I'll definitely go
Yeah.
watch it.
1988, is true.
Now, guys,
Mela, mela.
unfortunately, I have hit my cap on this, and I need to get going. But I will leave the audience in the completely capable company of Franco and Andrea for my very short review on Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, which the guys will discuss after this. It's fine. That's all I really have to say. But guys, thank you for having me as usual. Apologies that I have to leave
Thank you, Joe.
so soon.
Thank you
No
for being
worries,
here.
Joe.
And to everyone,
worries.
enjoy the rest of the show.
Ciao, ciao,
Bye,
Joe.
Joe.
See you.
And now the Joe fans have tuned out. We have our audience ratings has gone down.
No.
No. Thank you, Joe, for staying on, and
Thank you, Joe
shame
Vera.
for you. Shame on you for leaving us.
This is coming out at the end of the month. Franco, Hypnotic. This is the Robert Rodriguez movie. Remember we talked about the trailer.
Yeah, we'll see. It's being hyped a bit too much now for my liking. But again, let's hold out our judgment. The jury's still out. Looks like it's an interesting movie. And yeah, I mean, why they had such little time to shoot? Why did they have such little time to shoot?
Yes. He talks about it. Basically, COVID. COVID was the issue. Yeah, big issues with COVID. Now, I actually got this interview not just for Hypnotic, because we've talked about Hypnotic and our thoughts about it, but especially
Right.
because he talks about a couple of other movies. First of all, he mentions, if I remember correctly, that a new Spy Kids movie. And damn, I wanted Joe here because Joe has
Loves
Spy Kids. Because apparently a new Spy Kids movie is coming out on Netflix later on this year. Yes.
I will be on Joe with this one.
Where was it?
So-
yeah, here we are. We'll have
Yeah.
something out pretty quick. We have another Spy Kids coming out. That's really great. Coming out this year from Netflix.
I mean,
So-
if he doesn't do the, I think he should take care. He should be a bit more careful with his visual effects
Yes.
because they are looking roughshod. And before, I think honestly, I don't know which direction he's going to take it. Robert Rodriguez is, it's an idol of mine, but we have to be iconoclastic as well. I have to put him down. I think he's capable when he's got the budget and
when he's got the budget. Yeah.
and he's got the backing of James Cameron. He should take care more of the
The
special
visuals on
effects.
Alita, Battle Angel are very good. I don't know if you watch
Exactly.
it, Franco.
I haven't seen it yet, but
The visuals were very good.
The visuals look quite good. Then
It's-
again, he's got
Everything else about the movie was the problem. So that is Robert Rodriguez. Now, to conclude our news, we have this interview by Collider with David Simon, who really like aggressively gives us very good explanation into the thought process behind the whole thing.
And he got fired from HBO for this. I mean, it's like he was expected.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So to start off, he explains how the process of making a show has changed from the early 2000s, early 90s, 2000s to now. Because back in the 90s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, you would have a season of 20 episodes, 25 episodes, right? So, as he explains, look, when I came into the business, a homicide season was the production, pre-production, production, post. I had 30 weeks on, sometimes more, depending on the episodes. You can make a living off that. And then the other 20 weeks when you're not working, okay, we were paid at a decent enough rate. You hold on to your money, you wait for this next season. Or if the show doesn't get picked up, you find another. You always had to find a gig, but the gig would pay you enough to make it plausible for you to afford a mortgage or for health insurance. Now, they'll start a mini room and they'll say, here's the 3 weeks of salary. And by the way, we're not guaranteeing that you'll get a script for a script fee, just a 3-week salary. Just come and give us your ideas. We may make the show, we may hire you, we may not hire you, and then go find another gig, or we're not sure we're going to order the show. Let's see if we order the show. But while we're deciding to don't take another job. We have you under contract for 3 weeks of work, and you got to survive, and you got to raise a family with that. It's crazy. So,
and I echo his words. It's and Big B to put it, it's fucking crazy.
it is.
It's fucking crazy. And it is, and I'm gonna blow the lid on this. It is the practice in Malta. I mean, I've had friends who couldn't find work because they were tied by another program, which is crazy, especially in this little shithole that we live in. Sorry for being the anti-Malta hate. I mean, it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
And for all the fanfare that's being done about the Maltese film industry, which, granted, I will say it's going through a good business, the fact that we don't have a union is what's attracting many American producers here.
Yeah.
And I think obviously this is not the job of the American producers here, but we should have a safety net as well for Maltese film workers. Because right now, film workers, it's unfortunately it's the bane of being Maltese. We see the money coming. It's not their fault. Again, I'm not putting the responsibility on anyone. The film industry was a bit stagnant, but now there's they told me, again, according to sources, it was back to back. But at the end of the day, I mean, Matthew Mudge is right in saying listen, guys, just because you've got the money coming, it doesn't mean this is going to be, the bubble will burst eventually. So what's the end game? And especially, and another speaking of which, there's going to be the Mediterranean Film Festival, which I saw the advert for. It's there's only a small part about movie making, and the rest is just about sports and being it's like a political campaign. I mean, guys, come on. This is not a political campaign. This is the livelihoods that we're speaking of.
100%.
And this is exactly echoing my
Exactly
words.
what we said. AI is a tool, not a writer replacement.
Not a writer replacement.
Yep.
For sure.
And also another issue that we always talk about is cuts costing by big studios. Disney, Warner Brothers, and so on. I understand. Listen, we don't live in a time where massive corporations can throw millions and millions and millions. COVID happened. Yes, there were issues. So I understand. But I think, like we always say, expecting a wage which allows you to feed your family, to have health insurance, and to at least have, a good safety net for yourself, I think is not asking for a lot.
That's one thing. And secondly, I mean, that's why I like this guy. They have self-respect as well as which I'm going to go into later on, for their craft, And
the big issue is not someone like David Simon, because David Simon, he's made his money.
And
But
he's made his money.
the big issue are the new generations of writers who want to, enter the business and start and make a living off writing the thing that they love, the thing that they went to university for, they've been practicing all their lives. Franco.
No, because it's like, anyone who's seen The Wire would say he should have many houses. I mean, that's such a stupid fucking take, man. Okay, so so imagine you're a writer. He's got the. Sorry, I'm hearing myself talking. I mean, like this comment. How are you so stupid, man?
Oh, this is Twitter, Franco. Ignore the comments.
I know.
This is Twitter,
I mean,
ignore the trolls.
imagine you're a writer and he goes like, ask him how many houses he's had. Have you have a house, or do you live in a like sub base apartment?
Like I said, he's not protesting for himself. He's protesting for all the younger writers who are coming into the business.
And apparently even the DGA is going to jump in as well.
Yes. And possibly SAG as well eventually will join as well. I think there's going to be kind of like an alliance between the three.
June 1st is the thing. And speaking of mergers, this was also happening with tickets. Funny enough, it was the Swifties, Taylor Swift fans, that actually really got mad about this. I mean, because what's happening with the mergers now? So they say cost cutting, but then the prices go up. Even we've seen it with Netflix saying that their subscription prices are going to go up.
Yep.
Introducing adverts. I mean, we moved away from television to avoid the adverts, and now you're going to give us adverts again.
Oh God, I can't stand that.
I mean,
back to square one.
Honestly, speaking of business models, I think the business models have become unsustainable as fuck.
True. The whole Netflix, Disney Plus bubble is going to burst, and it's going to burst sooner than we think.
There's too much focus on IP. Too much focus on IP. The fact that we're having too many remakes. I know I'm going to watch the movie, but did we really need a Fast and Furious X when you have so many stories to be told?
No, Franco, something like Fast X makes a profit. It makes a profit. All of them make a profit. You know what doesn't make a profit? Netflix, massive losses every year. Disney Plus, massive losses every year.
Wait. I mean, they say it's losses, but is it true that they're making losses? They're making losses because they're paying the top bosses. That's why they're making losses.
I think the servers to get Netflix all around the world. You know how expensive those servers are. It's incredibly expensive.
But that's not smart business making, Allura, for sure. That's one thing. And secondly, I'm sorry, you're not paying the VFX artists. You're not paying the people who actually do the work, so that you get a fact check in your pocket. I mean, something's got to give. If you're really telling me, if you're a really, but this is something I would say to the more to the more capitalist leaning listeners out there. If your heart really goes out to the workers, why are you not sacrificing some part of the pay? And don't tell me because you merit it. Doesn't your worker deserve a decent, I'm not saying a villa, but a decent living conditions. Decent living conditions. And I don't think, and that's what, and even though people say, oh, people never ask him about the houses, I mean, most probably he's going to sell the houses, and he's on the right side of the history, David Simon, regardless of how many houses that. If he were really comfortable with his houses, like, no, it's not, he would just wash his hands and say, it's not my business. I mean, he's a veteran. He knows what went on, and he was telling how the model changed completely. Now it's like out, lots of greed. I mean, and obviously we're here complaining of how shit some of the movies are turning out to be.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a reason. But anyway, I think it's also important because it's also important to keep the hopes up. It's not a question of being idealist. It's not a question of being romantic. I think we should have more hope. I think this is a good thing that there is a strike. always think there's a good thing of the strike. You wouldn't have, if there weren't strikes, you wouldn't have children allowance, you wouldn't have free healthcare, you wouldn't have much of the rights that we are now being taken for granted.
I agreed.
Full stop.
100%. And to conclude, Franco, a movie which I must say surprised me. So, guys, before we get into the review, actually, sorry, Franco, before we get into the review, let us know, viewers, listeners, what do you think about the news this week? We did not have any like big news to talk about this week, so we focused on some smaller movies. Good to sometimes mention movies that maybe you wouldn't have heard of unless you're like me, scouring websites looking for news to talk about. But some interesting movies there to talk about, to think about in the future maybe as well. So let us know in the comment section below any news we might have missed out on. Let us know in the comments. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, let us know your thoughts, and so on and so forth. And now we've come to the final section of the episode, which is our reviews. And we've got one review and one kind of like discussion, more thoughts by Franco on a certain Maltese program you might have heard of. Let's start off with the movie first. The Covenant. We both watched it. Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, because there are a lot of other The Covenant movies. I look at that like for The Covenant, so I'm sure that's the reason why.
Alien Covenant, The Covenant with the male wizards.
Yeah. Yes, Franco.
Yeah.
Your thoughts.
So The Covenant is the story of a local interpreter, an African local interpreter who risked his own life to carry an injured sergeant played by Jake Gyllenhaal across enemy lines, basically, and miles of grueling terrain. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. Joe is right. It is fine. It's not classic Guy Ritchie. Speaking of Snatch and Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels.
No.
But I have to admit, I found it very mature. I found it very well made. The biggest shame is the VFX. They're shit. I'm sorry. Joe was right when he said that the VFX are shit. I think they should have taken a bit of care about this. Good turns by Jake Gyllenhaal and Dar Salim, the guy who plays the African interpreter. Yeah, some dialogue was a bit, especially this bit where he's standing and speaking to Johnny Lee Miller, to Major Vokes. It was a bit like, but there were other moments. Yeah. But there were other moments where it's not a blessing, it's a curse. And how did you feel like the portrayal was of war? I found it quite realistic, so to speak.
Yes, quite realistic. There's no gung-ho action. The action all felt quite realistic. I love how we went from like a war movie. It's almost sometimes felt, but I don't want this to sound like a bad thing. When you're playing certain video games, there are moments in the game where at the start you are like a army all out attacking, and then the disaster happens, and now you're in stealth mode. You have to keep quiet, hide, attack with knives and not with guns. You can't make noise. And that change I thought was very, very good. So
yeah,
Jake Gyllenhaal and Franco.
Yeah, I was going to say about the video games, there are some moments that really look like a video game,
but in a good way, not in a bad way.
Yeah, no, yes. No, it's in a very, very good way. That's I agree with you. And you were going to say, keep on going?
No, even the moment when we've got Jake Gyllenhaal and what's his name, the actor,
Dar Salim.
Where they're like hiding and working together to ambush the Taliban soldiers. That was very good. Those are very, very good moments, very tense. You could tell there's a lot of attention to even the gunfire and the way the soldiers move. There's lots of very serious considerations there. I thought that, but I agree with you about the VFX. It's true. Some moments looked very cheap, especially the Angel of Death scene at the end.
Yes. Oh my God.
That should have been such a powerful moment, but it just felt so.
It's such a Because
Such a pity.
it's a big pity because it's such a great it's a great story, considering, and I mean the performances were great as well.
Mm-hmm.
A bit more of attention to the VFX might have. I think there were some moments, even for the fires as well.
That moment,
there's
this moment, because it's here.
that shot, but like you said, most probably it's budgetary restrictions.
Yeah. So I mean, oh come on, this looks. But I mean,
they
it's
could
budget, 100% budget.
have. I mean, but they could have used the model as well, like filmed it against the blue screen. This is not like a large. Go back to Star Wars era, like original Star Wars era
Yeah.
effects,
Yes.
and at least the matte painting behind it will still come out as very
Yes.
not even more decent than this one.
Agreed.
I mean, look, for the listeners, basically we're seeing a shot of the airplane called the Spectre, called Spectre gunship.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't. It's you can see it's a CG.
Oh, 100%.
There, it's the plane looks very smooth. Even the reflections on the windows don't look
Yes.
like. I mean, again, guys, do watch the Corridor Crew because they do give a great breakdowns about this stuff. And fortunately and unfortunately, now my eyes are very accustomed to seeing what is bad and what's wrong. Like you could see the difference with the practical explosions and the fake explosions.
And the explosions then look so good. You know,
But
they
they
look
were-
very real. The explosions.
Exactly, but some of them
Like
were
here,
practical.
You can see this looks great.
Great, but some of them. But I think that's a bit CG as well. They enhance a bit CG because the fire doesn't look. The fire has to look blown out, and it's not blown out. There's this orange tinge.
Yes. The moments where Darsalem was carrying Jake Gyllenhaal, those were also very powerful moments.
There were very powerful moments.
Going up
very
the
harrowing.
mountain, like his face, he really brought out the struggle and like the emotions going through him. You're like, should I be doing this? Shouldn't I just leave him there? And then he goes down. He meditates a little bit. I don't know if he was praying or meditating, and then he continues, and that was really. I felt emotions in those moments.
It was harrowing. The journey is harrowing. But going back to the movie, there was a bit where it sagged a bit before it picked up pace again for the
Final. Yes, between Jake Gyllenhaal arriving in the camp again, and him going back to Afghanistan, basically.
And I think it's also it's something that I noticed was how easy it was for the Americans to come and like clean the field from the Taliban's, while this guy had to go through so much, and I mean I could feel the injustice being done for this guy not being given the visa.
Yeah.
That is absolutely like insane that he did all that and that he had to go on hiding for how many years? 3 years?
How
Or a year? I think a year.
Franco, I forgot how long it was.
I mean,
that's
that-
yesterday.
Yeah, but he
My
should.
memories.
But he should have been given the visa there and then. It's like you brought this guy. Okay,
100%.
here's visa.
100%. All right, Franco. Now it's up to you because I watched
no,
5 minutes of it, and to be honest, I
Okay.
I couldn't make it.
So yes,
we're
guys,
talking about Franco.
Love Island Malta. So okay, let's from the outset. I have no issue with people consuming reality TV. It is definitely not my cup of tea. It is no longer reality TV. I think goes without saying. These programs are scripted. How do I know? I've also spoken to people who've worked behind the scenes. It is like even in Grande Fratello back in the day, like there was a camera person who worked behind the scenes in Grande Fratello, and he said these are programs. They have Each participant has a certain character to follow. Okay? Now, is that bad in per se? Yes and no, because you're saying that you're portraying reality. It's not reality. People just watch this sometimes as background noise. We've seen this with Kardashians. Again, the idea is not being a snob here, and I'm not going to make fun of it. I think the jokes are overdone already now. It's not even episode 1. Are we really ready for this kind of show in Malta? I don't think so. I think we're very mature as an audience, even though we are discerning. This is a very 50-50 take. We're really sliding over a knife's edge, because with Netflix and with Disney Plus and with YouTube, we are a discerning audience. I will not stand by people saying that we're a nation of troglodytes. No, I'm not saying. We have the internet in our hands. We can be educated. Are we media literate though? No, we're not media literate. Okay, we still have this idea that what we see in TV is what it is in reality. I don't, for example, believe that these contestants are what they say they are in their introduction. I mean, it's
on the hardest.
Because it's I've seen it and it's very put on. It's very put on. I've seen it very put on. There were 2 instances. Allura boys kif aħna, allura girls kif aħna. I mean, you know, this was fed. And honestly, I mean, it's something that frustrates me to no end. I'm not saying I'm an authority in what is art and what is not. Again, this is not a question of what is art. We deserve better. That's my calling card. We deserve better than this cis-het cringe, because it was very heteronormative. Like, for a nation to boast how progressive we are in LGBTQ legislation, and seeing Maltese TV and not seeing, for example, not just LGBTQ, there's no visibility of the immigrant community, which, while I was absent, has increased. And I have no problem with it. Everyone deserves a decent living wage. Everyone deserves another chance in life. And there's no LGBTQ visibility. I mean, guys, we're competing. What we're competing with is quality made. Despite us shitting on Netflix, there are quite some pretty decent stuff out there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
If you look, you know.
If you look hard enough, you will find good stuff on Netflix, man.
And I'm going to say, and I'm going to be honest about it. The standard in Malta has gone down. I'm seeing such poorly made television in Malta. It is shocking, because it's funny how adverts have better quality than the actual TV shows. And I'm speaking of adverts because we've seen lots of them instead of the program itself. And here's the thing, though. Speaking of Edifene Kadam, we have to thank him for this, because he changed the mode of how the national broadcaster gets funding, which is basically advert based, not totally from the government. And now we have the basically, again, not thinking forward. Thinking in the future, we're thinking short term. This is the way that the national broadcaster makes money, so let him do it. And now we have more adverts than we have program.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna be. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be forgiving for the producers. I know that this must have been the greatest dream that they have to do to bring such a franchise on. Well done, but at the same time, to act shocked and ask people to be kind, you have to be a special kind of naive. You have to be a special kind of naive. I'm sorry. I mean, you don't expect this to just saying be kind and erase all the harm that's been made. and I'm being extremely charitable to the but not only to the viewers and to all those that left comments, which please, I'm gonna say it, you don't only lack compassion, but you also lack mirrors in your house as well, eh? If you're not really, if you're feeling so superior of putting down other people's appearances, but it means it shows another thing. I think the reality that it shows is that we're a nation that we're not self-aware enough, and I think we need a good introspection. And I'm not saying we're also unkind to ourselves. We know that we can achieve. I'm not saying out of patriotic pride. We can achieve 100%, but we're being given this we have this idea now ingrained in our minds that we are a nation of troglodytes. Full stop. And it doesn't come from the ignorant. It also comes from the supposedly intelligentsia of this nation. I mean, if I'm going to be honest about it, even the idea of mental health was, and this comes. It's a very touchy subject for me. You know why? The audiences know why. Our audience. That mental health was considered as an afterthought. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Especially knowing that I just read on the news there are at least, sorry for this trigger warning, 4 cases of suicide related to Love Island in UK. And then you thought about the free therapy sessions after you saw all the vitriol coming out online and the cyberbullying. I was not offended by someone saying that they want to kill themselves after 5 minutes of Love Island, which is an unfunny joke. Water over a duck's back. But I do take offense that just because it's a Maltese production, we should appreciate the hard work. Okay, granted, it's hard work, but why? For fuck's sake, now, I'm sorry, it's not a question of victim blaming here, but you're putting all this hard work for this drivel. You expect Maltese audiences to lie down and accept and accept this drivel down their throat. Heck, I was talking to someone that she says she's a fan of Adam Sandler, and she watched Murder Mystery 2. She watched many movies of his. It's surprising. I mean, it's again. I can understand that it's not my cup of tea, as much as the Eurovision is not my cup of tea. But I'm sorry, you're not expecting international success if we still keep on banging on the same door when the window is open just next door. It's I will do like fuck it. I'll sacrifice and see how long it goes. Again, it's too early to say. I will say this. It's too early to say whether we will see gay participants or participants of color.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the standard is piss poor.
Yeah.
As I mean, there was one thing. I was very surprised. Eat, sleep, crack on repeat. This was written on the wall of the villa. I was like, oh my god, please, no, please. And the other thing about this idea of even body image. I'm not saying. I mean, they're very well chiseled. I'm not gonna say they're not good looking. I'm sorry, they're very well chiseled. I understand the attraction, but guys, I mean, with all this that's going on in the world with misogyny and body image issues, couldn't we at least have someone with that doesn't fit the norm? If you really want to change a bit the game or change the formula, I mean, be the first. You know, we have the potential to be the first in something. I have to say, it's really what made me feel like I'm unseen and unheard. And I'm gonna say I don't care if I'm sounding too dramatic. It does take a toll on mental health, this kind of stuff. And another take, and I don't know if I'm gonna say something stupid, but considering that the majority of the participants are around 20 years old, I don't believe for 1 second that the 20-year-olds in Malta are like that.
No, Allah Haris. Jesus.
And I mean, so that's why. Is it really the reality? Is it really the reality?
But I don't think Love Island Malta is pretending to be a reality of Malta. It's clearly it's like a, I wouldn't say tongue-in-cheek look at, but it's like an idealized look at.
There's no nuance whatsoever. I mean, but by business standards, this is a resounding success. Since when have we ever heard that the TVM streaming services were blocked, were not good enough?
160,000 viewers live on TV.
Exactly. That was unheard of. So by business standards, you would say this was a resounding success. But at what cost?
More than 1/5 of the island man was watching that.
But this success at what cost? At psychological cost? At quality cost? At taxpayers' cost? Not necessarily taxpayers.
Oh, definitely at taxpayers' cost.
Partially.
Because obviously there's the adverts and whatnot.
But I mean, again, eventually, this is another opinion in a sea of opinions that we're gonna see throughout the run of this.
How long is
program.
it, Franco? Do you know?
I have no idea, but judging by multi standards, this will definitely go over for 24 episodes.
It's one episode a day, so it's going on right now. Actually,
one episode a day.
Yeah, apart from Friday and Saturday. Apparently, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday.
So there's an episode as well.
It's going on right now, apparently, because I'm seeing my chat exploding on Facebook.
We have to see then how much the viewership was as well, because I was talking to friend of the show, Francesca Vella. I see if they would retain that same amount of viewers.
Yeah.
And I think they would, because look, final thought, and I'll stop there. I will not bow down. Before I used to be like, oh, we're a nation of troglodytes, we're so ignorant, all the people want is just this trash. No, I will stop this, and I will be the first to say, guys, you think we deserve better? Change the fucking channel. And secondly,
don't hate watch, man. Don't do what we did to Velma.
That's exactly.
I'm to blame there with Velma. I watched Velma.
No, but at least, Andrea, I have to congratulate you, because you realize that. What's the point of hate watching? I mean, at the end of the day, despite the cringe, alala, Emma, these people are human. I'm ready to say these people are human. And secondly, I mean, for fuck's sake, boss. Yes, speaking as a guy as well. For everyone who targeted the woman and the woman's appearances, and then we're shocked about body image issues and why women still feel like they have to be more aware about this. Fucking shame on you, guys. I'm not saying that I didn't put a bit of the fun, but at least the fun I had. I mean, I compared Dale to Tommy Cash. That's it. Then I didn't, but what we do here in Malta is we go over, man. We overstep on the line. We go on to the pheromones, and then.
Well, yeah, online it was a shit show. Ara, I'm gonna be honest. Joking, for example, when I was watching the episode, I did joke with Tristian. I did pass a few slightly mean comments, but it was me and Tristian. No one else. They're not gonna. That's just me. But online, you know that these people are constantly looking at their phones and going through social media and scouring what people are saying about them. And I'm sure, like you said, it's going to take a toll on their mental health. It's going to take a toll on their mental health. It's not going to be easy.
Look, there's something that we have to. I know this is a very wide brushstroke, but there's something I've noticed with Maltese people. They say, no, we're all good. Then when you have a good, proper conversation, you realize how much of a toll it takes.
Yes.
And this is not a question of being offended, it's just being guys. Like, we lack self-awareness and awareness of people around us. And the unkind comments is because we're unkind to ourselves. That's what I'm going to say, and that's why I'm really pushing on the being compassionate to ourselves more more than being compassionate to the participants. I mean, that's it. Like, I'm gonna mention names. Ben Camille, you saying to be kind to people. That's a very stupid take on it. I'm gonna put this squarely the responsibility on the producers. You knew this was coming. This was not your first rodeo on doing reality TV show, and now you act shocked that people can be so cruel. Guys, don't be naive. You're not naive, all right? Especially the producers of Love Island. And another thing, Valentino Rossi, no, just because it's a Maltese production and people put hard work on it doesn't mean it's good. Okay, I put hard work on my short movie. It's not perfect. I'm ready to admit, but at least I put it out there and I know where to improve. If we keep doing the hard work and this is the standard that we achieve, we have a problem. And I'm not gonna argue about this. We have a serious problem, especially seeing stuff on Go Talkies, seeing the trailer by other guy. Like I'm going to mention names. Fuck it, Sonic J Aquilina. Shot on an iPhone because I could notice that the out of focus was an iPhone feature, and we're making so. I mean, I'm going to be charitable. It's done with good intentions and it's done with passion, but passion enough is not enough, guys. We need technical. We need good visual languages, and we're going back 10 years, guys. Even certain stuff was badly lit on Love Island as well. Like, are we really becoming that careless? And we're not trust me when I say we're not careless when we really put our minds to it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the rant, guys. Not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. But I know there should be other stuff to concentrate, especially on myself and my mental health. But it does. It did. I have to admit that it was something that affected me coming back here, because I've seen what kind of potential we could have, and we're not learning. We're not learning at all. Eurovision. I was right. The song, funny enough, I don't find it half as bad. It was very well produced.
I'm going to be honest, I did not like it at all. I'm going to be honest, I really did not like the song.
Fine, Andrea. But if these people really, this is what
I said it on day one. That to be not now. That after the whole disaster of votes, day one I said it. But
listen, Andrea, and it's good, but it's not my cup of tea. That's what I'm going to say. I mean, objectively, is well produced. I think we have to give it that. It is well produced, and it's not nice. We've heard it before. It is very radio friendly. Now, people they are saying, "Oh, look, we are viral on Spotify." So fucking what? Do we have a record deal?
Yeah.
Or is it like I said? Because I know I was mean as well. Like, this is a shortcut to become wedding singers. Full stop. And I've said it before, and it's not because I'm being cruel. I told I want Aiden to be Harry Styles, not Alexander Rybak. You know who Alexander Rybak is, or you know who Harry Styles is. That's my take.
All right, Franco.
And
Thank you for that.
Honestly, if I don't care. I genuinely don't care about listening to other opinions. I know I'm right, and I'm not going to be forgiving or charitable to people who are responsible of our national broadcaster. We deserve better. That's all I'm going to say. We deserve better. I don't care whether you're the intelligentsia or a commoner or the troglodyte. We're not troglodytes, guys. I mean, let's start having a bit more of self-respect. Not just as artists, but also as people. Even if you're not artists or some accountant or a fucking cleaner, I don't care what you are. You are a decent human being. You should not be treated to this drivel. Full stop. And you should not let yourself be controlled by base emotions, because that's what they want. They don't see you. They don't see you as a person, as a viewer, as someone who's capable of turning on Netflix and watching a true crime series. I mean, there's lots of it, but you enjoy it. You understand what's going on. So be proud of that capability, and don't expect people to put you this drivel. We deserve better. Full stop.
That we do. Talking about us deserving something better instead of Love Island.
Votawli, guys.
Vote for Franco. Instead of watching Love Island Monday evening, I'm going to watch something a little bit better. I'm going to go watch episode 8, I think it is, of Succession.
I'm gonna watch something better than Succession. Dreams. Because I'm having so very vivid dreams, especially with my medication. Dude, mux bitċajt, I can see the faces clearly. It's creepy, but at the same time, it's fantastic. Yep.
All right, Franco.
Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in, guys. Leave your comment down below. Share this video, especially for my rant. Actually, do share it around. I mean, again, guys, if you really do believe that we deserve better, regardless of whether you're a snob or not, do leave a comment, share this, and tell your friends, tell your fathers, tell your mothers. And good night and good luck.
Good night, guys. Ciao. Thanks for tuning in. On to the next one. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.